Hello, I wanted to record this little introduction to kind of introduce a new project that will be starting up pretty soon, that being Media Delta. Um, so this will be kind of a departure, but not quite, from our current Retro Rank Rhapsody format. It'll kind of follow the same thing. We're taking a piece of media, and we're kind of taking it through its paces and putting it on a giant list and seeing how it compares to other things. However, we're not taking a look at video games this time, although we're taking a look at video game related things. Because this project kind of came out of two things, I guess. The first one being, we've played plenty of games in Retro Rank Rhapsody that are based on various media. Things like Dirty Pair Project Eden, Gal Force Eternal Story, Die Hard, all sorts of different properties. And this kind of came out of the notion, particularly one that came into mind was Area 88, which was the source for the game UN Squadron that is on the arcade and the SNES. Of course, me when I was young, we had UN Squadron on the SNES, but we weren't really familiar with Area 88. I guess so much so that they changed the name when they brought it over. But I always kind of wondered, as I kind of became aware that Area 88 existed, well, how is it? Like, does it compare at all to the UN Squadron? So that's kind of what Media Delta is going to be about. It is kind of taking a look at, right now, just movies and TV shows, but eventually you kind of want to expand it out to books and other sorts of media to see how they compare to the video games that are created, and especially the ones that we showcase on Retro Rank Rhapsody. So we have a direct comparison point. This will kind of be done in two different categories because not only is there the case of when video games are made based off of normal media, that's also the case when people try and make movies and TV shows out of video games. The umpteen million Sonic comics and TV shows come to mind, and also Mario and pretty much Mortal Kombat movies. Pretty much anything has, or not anything, but there's been a lot of that kind of media, and we're going to be taking a look at those too. In fact, those will kind of be the main focus, the ones we'll be kind of taking more deeper dives into. But yes, that is what Media Delta will be. We're going to be taking a look at movies and TV shows that are based off of games, and ones that had games based off them. The first couple that we'll be doing, this will be I'm going to be recording these episodes on Fridays during kind of our normal Friday slot. Right now, we are planning on doing what will essentially be turned into two episodes a night. And we're going to be doing this every other week. So the first night we're going to be doing this is November 1st, which will kind of start the, I guess, quote unquote, second half of the second season of Retro Rank Rhapsody. This will be November 1st at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, in which we'll be taking a look at two things. The first one being in this case, anime that is based off of a video game, that being Salamander, also known as Life Force, although it also kind of has elements of other Gradius properties. So that'll be the first thing we take a look at. And right after that, we are in fact going to be taking a look at Area 88, particularly the three OVAs that came out during the kind of mid 80s, taking a look at those. So that's how Media Delta is going to start. And I'm kind of interested in the fact of how this will kind of be released, because I'm not going to be uploading these videos to YouTube. I'm not going to be doing the raw video for these. However, what I will be doing is kind of cutting them down into their own episodes and most likely releasing them probably on Thursdays. So if I take a look at my calendar, we'll be recording on November 1st, which means that the first episode, which will be Salamander, will be releasing in both. I'm going to upload at least the episodes to YouTube, but I will also be putting them into our RSS feed, which you can well, if you're hearing this in the audio, you know where it is, and I'll put a link to it in the YouTube description if you're listening to the YouTube version of this. And that will be the first episode, which will be Salamander, will release on November 7th. And the following episode, which will be covering Area 88, will release on November 19th. Or not 19th, 14th. In which we will be doing another recording on November 15th. And I believe that one we will take a look at another OVA. It's not just going to be anime, but it just happened to be what the first things we're going to take a look at. An OVA that is based on Wizardry Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord, followed by taking a look at Dirty Pair Project Eden, which is not quite an OVA, but it's kind of a not. I don't think it was theatrical, but we'll talk about it when it eventually, when we get to it. So yeah, that is what Media Delta is going to look kind of be. And I kind of really looking forward to this because I am someone with an office job who kind of relies on podcasts to kind of get through the day with my sanity in check. So that's kind of why I wanted to do a podcast. So it is something that if you are doing something else, you can listen to on kind of at your leisure. You don't have to be kind of watching the screen to kind of take a look at the game. We kind of will describe things for you. So yeah. That is Media Delta, and that will be coming up soon. I hope you watch it. Thank you, and have a good night.